Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Fireside Cast. I'm Eki in the booth with Cecilia, new casting pair coming at you for this amateur quarterfinals between ONIS and Black and Milds. We're going to be playing Metalworks, Clearcut, and Sunshine. So no matter what happens in this series, we will get a guaranteed Koth matchup, which for some reason in Open is terrifying to players. They don't like playing Koth in their playoffs. I only ever see them play on 5CP maps, so it's a nice change of pace. But we have some pretty good teams lined up here. Again, Black and Milds versus ONS. I'm going to go ahead and go down the roster for Black and Milds very quickly, just so we can get it out the way and get these teams squared up, ready to go, get them playing. Your pocket scout for Black and Milds is going to be Earzy. Your flank scout will be Sachi. I hope it's, I don't know how to say it. I hope the first one was right, because that's what I'm going to say. Your roamer is going to be Parks. Your pocket will be Caltonis. Your demo will be Austin, and your medic will be A Dozer. And looking at the roster for ONIS as well, we are going to have your pocket as Rohi. Your flank will be Hoob. Your roamer will be Death Lamau. Your pocket will be Cream Soda. Your demo will be Kradex. And your med will be Sesh. So some new names, except for one for me. I only recognize Hoob, and I don't remember what I recognize them from, so we've got some pretty good matchups today. I'm going into it blind, but hopefully the folks that are watching here know a little bit more than I do. But it's always fun to look at these open games, especially with the best of three coming up. Hopefully it's a close series. I'm feeling pretty excited about it. I don't know how you're feeling, but yeah, I'm hoping for some good TF2.
I'm pretty excited. I did some research here. Just so you know, Black and Milds is the home team. They got 2 of the map picks, whereas ONIS got 1. I looked on trends. I looked for a while. As far as I know, these teams did not play in the regular season, and they've only scrimmed each other once, from what I can tell. So I think this is really anybody's game.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like it. I did take a quick gander at their RGL pages earlier today, but because I have the memory of a newborn goldfish, I have already forgotten everything I had read. I don't even remember what seeds these guys are. So, unfortunately, that is the way of the road. I am actually going to pull it up right now, I guess, while we have time, because these guys haven't rupped just yet. But let me pull this up right quick. So ONIS is 6th seed, Black and Milds is 3rd seed. So it's not a super close matchup in terms of raw percentage of rounds won.
Looks like we're getting started here.
Oh yeah, I guess we are getting started right away. I don't even get to go off on my rant about round win percentage. I don't think the cast wanted to hear about that anyway. But yeah, going into this mid, usually I like to look at the demos, but on Metalworks, I like to focus on the soldiers a little bit more. They have a little bit more impact than they do, especially at the start of Metal. It looks like we're going to see Kradex take a lot of damage very early on, but Austin is going to eat some of his own in response. I believe this is Parkinson bombing forward, not going to be able to really find anything, and will get taken down for it. Cream Soda dies now, Caltonis, but a big pipe from Austin will find Rohi and Kradex. Sesh going to go down, as well as Ozmeister is able to find the pick onto him, and that will be a successful mid for the side of Black and Milds, essentially wiping ONIS pretty quickly, mind you, setting themselves up with that full Uber ad walking into second as well. We might see a pretty quick mid to last for this first round.
Yeah, and if you notice, Sesh had a really nice surf in that fight, but either the pack was gone or they just missed it and they ended up getting caught out. Super unfortunate, because their scout was right there and they would have been able to run away. But I'm excited to see what happens and see how they end up pushing last here.
And I think what they really want to do sometime soon is just rip the ad they have. Obviously, they gotta wait for their players and everything. They gotta get themselves set up. They gotta make sure that know where everything is. They don't know if that gun's a level 3 or not. I mean, they probably should know it isn't, but, you know, can't know everything. Looks like they're going to be ripping it through fast. Demo is not going to be able to bomb, but they will be able to find that sentry very quickly. Hoob does lose it. Now going to be Death and Rohi going down, so 2 players dead already for the side of ONIS, and it's a very, very fast cap as Black and Milds doesn't really have much contention. You know, there's no one really fighting them on that point. ONIS losing 2 players. I think they just feared a little bit, and they didn't throw the bodies on the point like they needed to. So pretty quickly, you know, quick little 2-minute round win for Black and Milds, but hopefully ONIS will be able to get a quick response.
Austin getting to mid first here, locking down the choke, but Kratos comes out of top and does a huge amount of damage. He has to back up to go get a pack. And we're seeing the bombs come in here into Valley. ONIS is taking good control of the height.
Cream Soda dying there will be unfortunate for ONIS. That kind of signals that they really have to get out of there. They were already trying to leave. I think Cream Soda was just kind of in to try and maybe find something. Maybe they sent like a late double bomb on the side of ONIS, but at least this time around, they've kept their beam alive. They've managed to maintain Sesh's life, so they can at least hold even on last. They will have their players spawned as well. Pretty big bomb coming in from Parkinson, but isn't going to be able to find the Force, and Irsi also going to be taken down as they try and move in as well. And it does look like ONIS wants to push off of this. They milk the super for as long as possible. No trap on the doorway, so they can't just walk through. They do need to be careful of Kaltonis, who jumps in the doorway, is going to land one nice rocket on a Sesh, and does get the Force as he's able to scare him out with that second one. Kaltonis is stuck behind, will get found by Rohi, but for Black and Milds, this is pretty much the best situation they could find themselves in. Now they've got full Uber ad looking into 2. They just have to wait for the players, but they're going to rip it anyway. Death jumps up, tries to get a free pick, will get taken down by Ozmeister. Cream Soda in behind is going to get juggled up by, I believe that was a Dozer, and cleaned up by Irsi, and this is very unfortunate for the side of ONIS. Dispenser down, that means you got to push. Hoob dying as well, so no one can really maintain that gun. It just needs to get spammed. It looks like Austin going to be able to get it from Banana. A lot of damage coming out onto the point as Rohi is the only one able to defend, and now it's Sesh trying to get their body on the point, but isn't quite able to, and that will be a second round secured within the first 4 minutes almost for the side of Black and Milds.
And what I really like about that last push, they knew they had disad and they pushed right away. Their demo was still rolling out, but they went ahead and just ran with it, so they didn't have to deal with the fact that they were at like 30 dis there. That was really smart.
Yeah, they kind of just, you know, ripped it through. They didn't really want to wait too long. They don't want to sleep on their ad, but going into this mid, already some pretty good damage coming out from the side of ONIS. That's going to be Death going in, landing on the lunchbox side of red mid. They are going to be able to find a Dozer here, and that will be the beam down for the side of Black and Milds. And it looks like potentially, if the players on ONIS play this right, they may be able to get themselves out and set themselves up for success on second. Both beams died here, so they'll also be spawning at about the same time. Have about the same amount of Uber, I think. They both have heal targets with them as they spawn. At least they should. Yeah, they will. So Ubers will be evened out here, and does look like Black and Milds, given how they've been playing so far, I wouldn't be surprised if they try and go for some kind of dry fight.
Yeah, I mean, this is where the game gets interesting, you know? There's no ad, nothing to push on, and you just have to make stuff happen. This is what you live for. Looks like they're coming into Valley here, getting ready for a sack, I would hope.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to make some of that space, you know, get some of that info beforehand. Something you see a lot of open teams kind of forget to do. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. Kaltonis will go down to a trap from Kratos, but earlier on, they did lose Death LMAO on the side of ONIS. This is pretty decent ad for the side of ONIS in terms of just being able to hold. They can kind of posture themselves more aggressively, even though they're down 2 players, because they have that Uber, they're going to be able to hold on to it. And with them finding Ozmeister here, now is their time, if they really wanted to send something forward, to try and bully Black and Milds out of Valley, and that looks like exactly what they're going to do, and they're going to actually, you know, set themselves up inside of Valley. Soldiers taking control of the forward spawn height, crucial component for actually being able to push out a last, but a big bomb coming in from Caltonis, tries to go for the spoon, lands onto Rohi, will not land the spoon, though, and will get taken down, but Parkinson is able to trade out with Cream Soda, now responded with Earsy. Rohi going to go down as well. Big bomb coming in from Parkinson, going to be able to land inside of Valley, and is taking the 1v1 with Death, and does win, and claims the Lunchbox health pack at the end of it. And does look like Parkinson probably going to end up dying here. Ooh, actually, maybe not. Gets the pack and lower, and Parkinson finds Hoob. You can't beef those.
That's great. Let's see how they bring this into last. I'm on the edge of my seat.
Yeah, I hope they at least just try and spot forward first and foremost. Obviously, they have evens, and now, with one of their soldiers being dead, Parkinson not being part of the equation will make it a little bit difficult to try and push in. Still definitely possible. The way we've been seeing Black and Milds do things is, I think they absolutely have the power to try and rip it right now if they wanted to.
It looks like they're going to wait for their player, though, and play this slow. They're taking a lot of spam getting in the lobby here. It looks like they're taking control of the ground and soldiers in position, and here comes the sack.
Big sack attempt coming in from Parkinson. Will not be successful, but will manage to trade out with a player there, I suppose.
Ozmeister
not
was in
as
deep.
successful as they want, but oh my goodness, Ozmeister, what in the world? Rohi finds two with the SMG, playing Call of Duty in his spawn. Somehow, life finds a way, as they say. And life found a way for ONIS to be able to hold on to that last and pick up as many kills as they did. They leave Rohi out to dry, though. They don't push through the doorway. That's going to be Parkinson jumping up through lower to try and reclaim some of that space that it just lost, not even, moments ago. So ONIS is back to holding last, even though they had all of the ad in the world to try and push out on.
Looks like Parkinson traded out a pick on the right. They're trying to get some spam on the gun here, just take it nice and slow and dry. And I like this pressure, I like the control. Ooh. Ursi almost dies, but he ends up getting out.
Yeah, it does look like it does look like they're just going to be setting up on two. Playing a little bit more passive than I think we would anticipate, but I think I see why, because Caltonis is up on class number 8 and is looking to find some cheeky shots. That would be really embarrassing if I didn't get the class number right, but we're gonna hope I did. The SVS does happen. They do both peek and look at Shutter. Rohi tries and fails, but does succeed in scaring Caltonis away for at least for the time being, and is going to be peeking all the way from his spawn, looking towards Toxic. Death tries to peek out and ends up getting taken down, so maybe not, the pick that they were hoping for, but it's a pick nonetheless. Two nice rockets onto Sesh from Parkinson. This is a very open window for another soldier to just try and throw themselves in and go for the bomb, but unfortunately they didn't go quick enough, and they're not going to be able to go off that counter. Oh my goodness, Rohi getting blindsided by Cal. Doesn't matter to him, though. He flicks over and is going to be able to win the SVS at the end of the day. Now peeking very, very deep. ONIS just wants to hold on to this, I feel. Oh, big Uber pop coming in from the side of Black and Mild. That's going to be the counter coming out from ONIS. Now they lose Rohi and Cream Soda, and I believe this is Parkinson still behind us. They're trying very desperately to pick up as many kills as they possibly can. Death going to be able to find the pick on a Parkinson, but it's Sesh caught inside a banana, and now it's going to be Kratos trading out with Earsy. Kratos going down now as well, though. Hoop Sentry putting in the work of the heavens, will be able to find a pick, but not quite able to fend them off for long. They will be Death dying in the doorway. Rohi going to go down to a pipe from Austin, as Austin barely with 10 HP is able to remain alive, and ONIS somehow, some way manages to stay in the fight for the time being.
You gotta respect a dozer there to, have the forethought to get out of that. They could have very easily gotten caught, but they just managed to get out and, preserve their ad instead of staying with their demo and maybe dying.
Absolutely.
Doesn't look like it mattered much.
Big bomb! Aww. Well, not a big enough bomb, unfortunately, for the side of Black and Mild. I don't think Caltonis is able to really do anything there. But that's just an unfortunate situation, I think, for Black and Mild. They kind of They took too long trying to set up some kind of push. They lost that SVS and they had to wait, so they were just bleeding time, and unfortunately they bled too much. They slowed down, I think, to a level they may or may not be comfortable with, and from the way they were playing around it, they kind of knew what they wanted to do, but maybe they hadn't executed it as well as they'd hoped. Maybe they just don't have the opportunity to play that slow sometimes, but does look like very early on in this mid, going to be Parkinson jumping up onto Red Crate, getting some good damage, will be jumping back to his side of mid though. Just some spam trade, Hoob going down, that's the first pick of the mid. Now Rohi going down, no scouts alive for the side up ONIS. It's bomb o'clock for these soldiers as that's going to be Parkinson going in. 2 nice rockets onto Sesh and does find the kill. Kradex not quite able to land that projectile soon enough and will end up dying. And a pretty big bomb from Caltonis as well onto Cream Soda will catch him as he's on the retreat. And Black and Milds in a situation not too dissimilar from the first 2 rounds with full Uber ad looking to push into last.
Yeah, I mean, that was just excellent bombs, great catching out the scouts. You know, that's exactly what you would want out of mid-fight, just catching people out who are overextended, getting the kills, bombing, getting huge value, and here we are in last with full ad, and it all pays off. Looks like they're taking their Uber in through Shudder.
Yeah, they are ripping it quick. The Stickies and Sentry have not yet been cleared. Sentry finally goes down, but the Uber is already fading. Parkinson going to go down. Death dies as well, but it is even players, at least for the time being. A lot of Stickies on the point in favor of Black and Milds, but they do debt very early. It's 2 players alive for the side of ONIS, though, and now it's just a demo man. There's only so much he can do. Lands a pipe onto a dozer, but as he's juggled up into the air, they will not be able to put that body on the point. And looks like Black and Milds will find themselves the 3rd round of the game.
A dozer there picked up a kill all by himself and then got like half the cap all by himself. That's super impressive for a medic. That's great to see.
Yeah. I mean, kind of just felt like a 1v. Just blowing up everyone, juggling everyone into the stratosphere, but you know, not to discredit his teammates, they did a whole lot. Could be a big bomb coming in for Parkinson. We'll be able to get some nice rockets down. We do have Caltonis going rather deep behind, and I do believe will be looking to push in through their house, catch some of those players that are leaving out. Will land on top of Sesh, but is going to get pinched by Hoob and Rohi. They do have Death caught inside of Elbow, and they will be able to or that's not Elbow, my apologies, that's Choke. They're going to be able to take Creams, or I believe that's Death, down in Choke, and they will be securing this mid for Black and Milds. Not Uber ad, though. It is going to be evens again.
They're kind of waiting for their players to get up here on Black and Mild and get in position. They're coming in through Valley, getting good dry pressure. Looks like Parkinson's going for a bomb. And he ends up getting traded.
Yeah, an unfortunate set of circumstances for Parkinson there. Tried to go in, tried to get something. That's all you can really do in that circumstance. Cream Soda as well, trying to go in for that counter. Hoob is going to be able to find Austin, but the force does come out from the side of ONIS earlier on in that exchange. I guess I didn't catch it with my own eyes. That's going to be a counter pop coming out from Black and Mild. They're going to be running down Sesh, taking him out. They're going to find Kradex as well. Caltonis dies. Cream Soda potentially dying as he's caught inside of Lunchbox, but a DM fight between Earsy and Rohi. It actually looks like ONIS is coming out on top for the DM fight, but big pipe from Austin will find Rohi just before he dies, and I believe this is Parkinson inside of Blue Choke, looking to get as much damage or just keep his presence there and try and bully as many players on the side of ONIS as they can. They know that those players on mid are very weak, and that's going to be Caltonis able to get into mid at the very last second, stop the cap. Parkinson is stuffing these players on ONIS in the doorway as well. He's just bullying them. This is cyberbullying. Your teachers warned you about this in school. This is what they meant when they referred to cyberbullying, but finally, his reign of terror has been put to an end. Parkinson going down to the hands of Rohi, and Cream Soda also dead for the side of ONIS.
Looks like they're just taking it straight through Valley here into 2. Caltonis going for an early bomb, ends up getting killed. They get the kill on Death Lamau, who goes for a bomb on the medic. Almost got him too. And they're just going to keep pressuring. We're even players here. This is great to see. A wrap from Hoob. Does he get a pick? No, he gets 2-shot. And it looks like Black and Milds is going to back up here. Go to house.
Yeah, that's kind of what Black and Milds can really do right there. I mean, they tried to get their sack, didn't go, and it didn't go the way they were wanting it to, rather, and really the most you can do there is back away and try and regroup and find something. But wait a minute, I think he's above the doorway. Will slowly get taken away as Death is able to walk into house for free. Caltonis will get taken down, tries to bomb and get something, but isn't quite going to be able to. Rohi going to be able to find something there for his team. Does look like Black and Miles wants to take this pretty aggressively, though. It is going to be an Uber exchange happening in mid. Black and Miles actually goes in, pops in their face, and then runs away. They're trying to just get the Ubers out of the equation because I think they feel confident in their ability to win that DM fight. So that's going to be ONIS actually going to be able to find Irzi as well. Now it's going to be Ozmeister going down inside of Choke. So Black and Mild, unfortunately for them, were not able to get, I think, what they wanted out of that Uber. Their positioning in that post was just a little wonky. They were kind of all over the place. So unfortunately for Black and Mild, they're going to be down their players. And ONIS has a pretty open window to try and push into second.
Yeah, this has happened. We've seen this a couple times now where Irzi and Adozer are just on a little bit different pages and one or the other ends up getting caught out because of it.
Ooh, big pipe from Austin to be able to find Death here. That's going to give Black and Milds a pretty sizable advantage. I'm not sure what the plan was from the side of ONIS there. I don't know if they were maybe trying to go for a sack or what. Big pipe from Kradix, though. Going to be able to find Caltonis as he jumps in for the spoon. But is not going to be a fruitful endeavor for him. Parkinson going to be going through lower, I believe, or at least just positioning himself there and spotting for that info. Now moving up to house. So again, just another stalemate. Even Ubers on blue second.
I think if you're Black and Mild here, you know you're better at dries, you know you're good at pushing, you have to posture like that. I think you really have to set yourself up for success, get your players buffed, and rip it. That's what you're good at. I think that's what we're about to see in a couple seconds.
Yeah, I think we have Parkinson going deep. I thought that was going to be a fade at first, but no. He's going to be bombing in very, very deep. He will not get what he wants, but Cream Soda will go down. Now Kradix going to go down as well. No demo alive for the side of ONIS. This makes it significantly easier for the side of Black and Miles to push if they want to, but Caltonis is going to get taken down inside of house, and now it's going to be Black and Milds on the back foot as ONIS preps themselves to push forward and try to get into mid. They are just positioning themselves up in Valley, and I think Black and Milds actually still has a pretty strong grip on mid here. So I guess maybe we're just going to see it stalemate. I think ONIS is fearing just ever so slightly. Doesn't want to try and take something they're not comfortable with, which I can respect.
Yeah, Parkinson going for a bomb here, getting huge damage, getting the pick, and almost forcing Sesh. Huge ground here on the side of Black and Milds, and it looks like they're going to get buffed up, fight this Wrath, and hopefully take the point.
Yeah, they almost had an opportunity to get in, but unfortunately, I think they ended up just falling down a little bit. I mean, literally and metaphorically, they fell down and just couldn't stand back up. They couldn't get back up onto the height, so they just ended up leaving through lower, and unfortunately, there's nothing they can really do in that moment to try and break that stalemate. They just got to get out of there. But Ozmeister up on Sniper. Looks like they're going to be playing the lower Sniper tech, trying to peek him through, see if he can maybe find the footsies of anyone, maybe try and get a kill. But for the time being, looks like we're just going to be seeing the stalemate continue. Big fight going on in Valley, though. Caltonis is going to go down. Big air shot. Parkinson, though, will be able to find Rohi as that makes the players even, gives Black and Milds the opportunity to maybe try and position themselves, or to continue to position themselves aggressively, but Parkinson going to be going in deep. The force comes out. Big bomb from Parkinson will be able to find the force that Black and Milds so desperately needs to break this stalemate.
Yeah, and Parkinson, he's been playing alone in kind of the Valley area a lot this game, and he's been really excelling at, his timing and his bombs. He's gotten a lot of really good value. Ozmeister is still on Sniper here with advantage. That's a little bit unfortunate. Hopefully they can make something happen.
Yeah, having a Sniper on the ad push scenario. Not the best situation, but they're going to make it work. They're going to be ripping it through Austin. Going to be able to find Rohi very, very early on in that Uber. They may even be able to find Kratos as he's caught between the Scout and the Beam. Does look like maybe Sesh able to get out, but no. Irzi with the Winger reloads at the very last moment. Does able to manage to get the kill. I believe Caltona's going to be going down here as well, but Irzi going to be able to find Cream Soda and Hoob as they try and get themselves set up on second, and they will be able to cap it, so we won't be seeing a round reset just yet. We will be seeing these two teams kind of stalemate out yet again, but I think Black and Milds knows this is enough ad for them to be able to kind of just rip it through.
Yeah, 30 ad is huge. I mean, if this team shows that they know how to use it and know how to get value off of it, which they have before, this is a great team at ripping. I think they're going to do great with this 30 ad as long as they get their players buffed and they play together and they, stick together for their post fight. I think they'll win this.
Yeah, I think they have a very good chance of just trying to get in. Their ad is dwindling. No, it goes down to 20%. When they rip that, it is going to be Austin thrown all the way up into the air. The sentry has not yet gone down. Finally going down at the tail end of the Uber. That is going to be Rohi walking out of spawn and building, eager to get as much of that Uber out as possible. And they do get it at the very last moment, so they are going to be popping at the last second, trying to get as many kills as they possibly can. Hoob going to be able to find 2. Rohi going to be able to find a dozer at the very tail end of that fight as well. So no Beam alive in the very, very post fight for the side of Black and Milds, and Hoob finding his third by taking down Caltonis, and it looks like ONIS is able to hang on for the time being and will be able to get themselves set up on second. Black and Milds coming in fast though. Parkinson trying to get in, but no cigar.
I think if you're Black and Milds there, this team just came through main so many times this match. I think you really have to take your 30 out and take it through a different door. Like ripping it through left side is, a nice turnaround of things for you. And I think that really would have lent them better to try to catch players out and use their 30 out to their advantage instead of having to go across that whole distance in main. They would have been right in their face and right in the gun right away, and maybe they would have gotten better value out of that. But
wait a minute, Ozmeister. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What is this guy doing? Up on the handsome man with the pretty machete in hand, ready to find some backs to stab. I think something that would benefit Black and Milds a little bit more is if their demo didn't get as much height, is the decloak coming in from the spine. He's going to be able to land on a Sesh. Big drop for Black and Milds. With Sesh down here, that gives them the opportunity they need. They're going to be pushing forward. Demo goes in deep. A lot of damage coming out. Sentry finally going down. Ozmeister dies there, though, unfortunately, for the set of Black and Milds, but they are going to be able to make it work, I do believe. Parkinson, Caltonis, Austin going to go down. Maybe I spoke too soon. They're going to get taken down just as soon as their push began, pretty much. Adozer is kind of just focused on holding W to get out of there as quickly as possible, and none of the players are any wiser on where they are trying to leave from. So Adozer does live, but the Ubers will remain even as Death dies to a unholy spam rocket from Caltonis, unfortunately. But nonetheless, it will remain an even Uber situation.
it looks like they're still up on spy here. I don't know if they're checking off, so if they're going for another spy play, but I think maybe
Looks
they
like
got
they're
value on it
committing.
before, and they're going to get value on it again, hopefully. Let's see.
Now, it isn't Ozmeister on spy this time. They do have Irsi on spy. But
Izzy did get hit with his own teammate's rocket. Maybe it doesn't look like ONIS noticed.
yeah, I don't think they noticed the spy bump at all. He is decloaked now. Looking to get in from behind. Is spotted by the scout. Goes for the butter knife. Not quite able to find anything. Will get taken down by Death. Getting some value off of that spy pick there. Will give ONIS some ability to push out, but that soldier, Parkinson, just didn't die quick enough. Death did so much damage as well, but the scouts just couldn't mop up the damage, unfortunately. So, just unfortunate. Kradex walks, doesn't clear the traps. You don't have a soldier jump up on the height and clear it for you. That's going to spell the end of the push for ONIS. They do manage to find Caltonis at the very least, but Cream Soda does trade out for it. So, unfortunately, ONIS gonna have to play to leave too.
I think they did a great job there of what I was talking about, where they knew they had the spy pick and they knew that Parkinson would be alone on the flank. ONIS tried to, take value on that. It didn't end up working out for them. Their demo got a little too aggressive and ended up getting picked, but I think they had the right idea with how to push out of that. Oh.
I don't know if that was an air pipe or an air shot. There is an NS dropped in the chat, so some projectile somewhere. I guess Death here taking credit for that air shot. That's pretty nifty. That's a nice air shot for Death there, securing that kill onto, I believe that was Parkinson. So that's gonna be a little bit of a bump in the momentum for the side of ONIS, but I don't really think it'll matter too much. They're kind of just looking to pick off any players as they walk in. Kratos actually going to be able to find 2 picks onto Caltonis and Parkinson as well. So now, as I was talking, the momentum shifting, now it's definitely shifted.
Ooh, Austin almost dies there, gets out. Yeah, both soldiers through right is a pretty normal sack. It's just unfortunate that they both caught the same pipe and ended up getting dead.
I mean, right now, Black and Milds, I mean, they had success on the spy. They had success on the, well, I don't think they had success on the sniper,
Their sniper
actually.
was not
but
successful now.
Yeah, maybe they could make it work again if they try and take it in. They know where to peek from. ONIS does have a pretty aggressive gun setup here, so I'm not I'm not too sure what their strat is here. Looks like they're going to have a soldier jump through. They are going to have that sentry spotted very early on. Parkinson is just kind of caught spamming the dispenser, trying to get some kind of damage, but they're not going to be able to find anything, and 4 players die for the side of Black and Mild. That is their 4-man pretty much, and that's going to give ONIS their ability to push out on to second. Unfortunately for the Black and Milds players, and unfortunately for Black and Milds fans, they don't have that kind of aggression that they need. But I think something to keep in mind, this is Banny config, so it might not be the end of the world that, Black and Milds isn't, going to be able to steamroll through and get to the last, because they can wait for the round limit to be reduced now.
Yeah, that's always something you have to play around in this config. Is just they're already up 3 rounds. They don't have to win 2 more. They only have to win 1 more in total, and it looks like they're looking to do that here with a big sack. Parkinson ends up getting picked though. Ooh! But Osmeister comes in and ends up getting the sack, getting the 4th on Sesh.
Yeah, this is a unfortunate situation to be in if you are ONIS here, and that's going to be the counter pop coming from Black and Milds. They are looking to find as many picks as possible. They managed to land themselves onto Sesh. Now Hoob dying a little bit further before that. Death going to go down as well. It's Irsi looking to get the pick onto the demo as well. Lands on top of a sticky. Has to walk away with 38 HP. Isn't chased down though, and now it's Kratos caught inside of lower and is probably going to get pinched by Parkinson. A scout is up on bridge. Osmeister not quite able to find him. Kratos actually kills Parkinson, but last is under threat. 2 players down for the side of Black and Milds, 2 players down for the side of ONIS. I think what either team really needs to do here is just kind of wait for their spawners, and they're going to have to get out a bare knuckle brawl on this last.
Yeah, and we just saw the banning config end, and so now ONIS has to win 4 rounds in order to win, and Black and Milds only needs 1 more, and they only have 1 point to capture to end this map.
Yeah,
but they're at a little bit of dis here. I think their momentum is really slowed down into last on Black and Milds. I think they need to change something about it. I think they have their demo peeking by themselves a little too much. I think he needs to play more with his team. I think the soldiers need to play a little more separately, and I think they could get a much better sack.
Yeah, I think that Black and Milds is trying to bide their time here. I mean, again, it is that Banny time, infinite overtime, so it doesn't end until one team reaches 4. ONIS has to play perfectly here if they want this to go their way, if they want to try and win this map. realistically speaking, that may or may not happen as, well, now realistically speaking, unless they kite out this next incoming Black and Mild Zuber perfectly, their chances of winning this last are going to be very, very low. Chances are still there. It's not zero, but it's going to be hard. It's going to be real, real hard for them to be able to try and hold on to this last. Black and Mild looking to push into lobby, taking that space now. Looks like they're contemplating between whether or not they want to go main. They're going to go with the tried and true. They are going to rip it through main. They get spotted very early, though. They know that's the place they want to go. Uber does get popped very, very early. They're not even going to jump it. They know that Sentry's closer. They just want to take it down early. Pyro, Rohi going to be doing a lot of good stuffing here as they play around this Uber the exact way they need to. A dozer goes down to the hands of death. It's going to be, I believe, it's Galtonis bombing in, and unfortunately, will get taken down by Hoob's Sentry. So Black and Mild does beef their last push here. They're going to leave their NG up on last, and ONIS is going to be pushing forward. Big bomb from Parkinson, but unfortunately not going to be able to get the pick that they need. Huge Uber ad for the side of ONIS as they look to push into mid. Wait a minute! Is that a...
Oh.
Oh no, Rohi.
I think as far as that hold go, Pyro is exactly what ONIS needed. I mean, they knew exactly what door they were going to come through, and they got stuffed perfectly. I think that was textbook.
Yeah, this was, I mean, this is the best that they could really do. Unfortunate for Rohi there, getting dead on by Austin will make it a little bit more difficult for the side of ONIS to really get done what they want to get done, and of course Sesh dying as well. It just makes it so hard for them to do anything. Second getting capped for the side of Black and Mild. They're looking to push all the way to ONIS's last, and unfortunately ONIS fans, they'll get their spawners up, but I don't know if it'll be quick enough to try and defend the point. Cream Soda going to be able to find Ozmeister, but unfortunately, wait a minute, Rohi's on the point, Sesh is on the point now, Uber gets popped, players are spawning for the side of ONIS, but oh no, Death is not able to get on top of the point in time, just barely, just another frame and he would have been on top of it. But unfortunately for ONIS, they are going to lose Metalworks 0-4. I do believe this was a Black and Mild's pick, so I'm not necessarily surprised that they took home a big gap win here. But I was hoping that ONIS would be able to fight back just a little bit harder.
Yeah, I think Black and Milds really took advantage on the flank for a lot of the fights. I think they were just able to... Black and Milds was able to commit on their flank a lot better and get those like valuable, 1v1, 2v2 picks, and really get a lot of ground off of that.
Absolutely. And we do have logs here. I do want to take a quick look at these. Probably won't be the craziest logs in the world, but always fun to take a little gander, see what the logs have to say. See what the story is in that regard. Jeez Louise, I can't think of the word that I need to use today. But looking at these logs here, Parkinson with the nice 260 DPM, 18, 6, and 32. I believe Parkinson is on Roamer, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, he is. So yes. That's kind of a Roamer stat line on Metalworks, especially. So unfortunate. It's not the prettiest stat line, but it is an effective stat line, and I think Parkinson as well has the highest health pack score at 85.
That is true. I think a big thing to note here is Rohi at 240 damage taken per minute. When you're a scout, you have to have some of your teammates, taking more of that damage. When you're taking that much damage as a scout, you're going to be taking a lot more of the healing, and we see that with Rohi at 30%, where like the demo is also around that point, but everyone else is getting a little bit less. When you're eating that much damage, it really comes at the cost of your team. And the ability for your medic to output heals onto everyone and give everybody good buffs. So hopefully they can bring it back for Clearcut. I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty excited to see what ONIS has for Clearcut. This is their map pick, so I think this is probably the map that, out of the ones that were available, out of the ones that remained, this is the one that they felt the most comfortable with. So I mean, hopefully they'll be able to put up some kind of a fight, and honestly, hopefully they'll be able to win, because we would love to see the 3-map series. But sometimes it just doesn't pan out that way. I would like to point out, during the picks and bans, Black and Milds actually forfeit one of their bans. I don't know if that was intentional or if they just took too long to decide, so it got auto forfeited. I'm not sure what the scoop is there, but looks like they just forfeit their believe this is their second ban. So looks like ONIS as well banning Gully, and then Black and Miles gonna be picking looks like Snake Water actually for the third map. Is, if I'm not mistaken, if my caster thread is correct here.
You are correct.
Going into it, we're on Clearcut now. This is going to be kind of where your DM fundamentals are tested. Koth in general is a mode that kind of strains your ability to just DM. Obviously, team play and strategy is a very crucial part of King of the Hill, but a lot of the time you can kind of just DM your way through it, especially in open. Teams have gone their way just DMing through Koth maps, for however many seasons RGL's been around, pretty much. It's just the way it goes.
I think the big thing to watch out for here is Parkinson. I mean, he got a lot of value on the previous map, and I think Roamer is such an integral role on this map, where you have to play this really balancing act of like trying to help the players on your roof and trying to, keep the players off of their roof and control the point, all without like basically taking no heals at the same time. It's such a hard role to play, and I think Parkinson has, from what I've seen, like the DM to back that up.
Yeah, I think Parkinson is definitely going to be a player to keep your eyes on. This is going to be something that I think is going to be kind of like their wild card in a way. From what we've seen, Parkinson, I don't want to say seems to be their pop-off player, but for lack of a better term, I am going to say that Parkinson is their pop-off player. If they need something crazy to get done, they're gonna call on Parkinson. They're gonna say, "Hey, buddy, we need you to go in there. It's your time. You've been called upon." So I think that's kind of I don't think that's the main role we're gonna see Parkinson relegated to. Obviously, he has a lot of impact on his own, but he is definitely a pop-off player.
I think another thing to watch out for is ONIS was playing sniper a lot when they were holding last. I think maybe their sniper seemed really confident. Let me look at the logs again and check who was on sniper. Oh, it looks like we're starting here. Try to get this.
Yeah, we are.
Rohi was playing pretty good on sniper. Maybe we'll see that on here. You can actually get on the roofs as sniper now, so maybe that'll come into play, especially in a div like AM. That might be a big difference maker.
You know what I'm interested in seeing? I'm interested in seeing if potentially we get to see some heavy to mid tech, or potentially even some NG tech, some of those curse strats. But early on, Parkinson going to be bombing in, going deep, will land onto Sesh, and very early on, taking out the sniper. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, if my HUD isn't broken, It looks like, assuming the teams are flipped here, ONIS had that sniper early on. Hoob now up on Putis will get taken down as well, and it's just Kratos and his beam caught inside of their house here. They're going to get chased down. They're getting pinched by Earsy now as well. So unfortunately for Kratos, they are going to get taken down here, and unfortunately for the side of ONIS, they kind of just have to give it all up immediately. But at the bare minimum, it is even Ubers.
Yeah, I mean, heavy and sniper. Not what I was expecting to start this map, but I'm super interested to see how it plays out. Looks like they're singing it in through Valley here.
Kind of waddling their way up here, yeah. Parkinson doesn't want to peek out too wide. They have Death here in a Death Grip. They are going to be able to take him down. Who being up on Putis is a little bit of a threat to Black and Mild soldiers, but oh my goodness, Kaltonis doesn't care. He's going to go in from behind, land on top of Sesh, be able to find that sniper pick. Very, very big for the side of Black and Mild. They're actually going to be able to get the Uber as well. Cream Soda has to run all the way out. And with that Uber being gone, they do find Kaltonis at least. That is kind of a redeeming factor, but Black and Milds is still holding on to their Uber.
Yeah, I think that was a great drive to play around the really slow heavy. They sent players behind to kind of distract and draw out players, you know, and then once they had them singled out, they sent a sack, and the heavy wasn't ready in time to counter it, and they got picks off of it.
Yeah, I think just kind of well played from the side of Black and Milds. I mean, they recognize the flaws of running a heavy into mid. It kind of... It's strong, but at the same time, it is so incredibly weak. If your heavy isn't revved or is just looking at anything other than the soldiers, it kind of becomes difficult to really make any plays. It does look like they have swapped off the Putis, unfortunately for the silly strat fans. But does look like a big fight going to be happening on the point here as ONIS wants to push forward. They use their Uber, are going to be able to find Kaltonis, Austin, and Ozmeister, but doesn't look like they're going to be able to find a Dozer, which is the pick that really matters in that situation. And does look like Black and Mild's going to be maintaining that full Uber ad that they waddled away with during that Uber. And with 42 seconds left on their clock, all they have to do is win one good fight, pretty much. If they can get one good wipe, it kind of forces the enemy team to take some very risky plays that they otherwise wouldn't take. Good shot from Parkinson onto Cream Soda. We'll be taking them down. That's going to be Death going down to Kaltonis as well. 2 players down in a dry fight for the side of Black and Mild, or 2 players down on the side of ONIS, rather, actually. And does look like we're going to be seeing an Uber, or an even Uber fight happen sometime soon.
Yeah, I think if you're Black and Milds here, you just need to get people buffed up and be ready for them to push you. Seems like they were bunkered, but exchange comes out here. No flashes on the side of Black and Milds. Completely even exchange here. Austin getting stickies on the back end. Kaltonis with the bomb. Huge damage on all the red players.
Oh my goodness, Parkinson.
Oh goodness gracious. Lots of picks here on Sesh, Roki, and Cream Soda, and that's going to be the round.
And that's only the first round there. I mean, we're seeing this kind of stuff happen in the very, very opening round. Granted, ONIS did have a couple questionable, you know, fights where they have the sniper Putis combo rolling out to mid, and it was interesting. To say the very least, but hopefully with the classes being their standard cookie cutter now, they might have a easier time. Parkinson going to be going far behind. Death going to be dying very, very early to the hands of Kaltonis. It's a pretty big fight happening over by the blue tower. Big bomb coming in from the soldier on the side of ONIS. I couldn't catch his name. I believe it was Cream Soda, though. Will find a Dozer. This is pretty big for ONIS. They need to keep Sesh alive, and it looks like for the time being they're going to be able to. But Earsy is in behind, is beefing every shot, though. Unfortunately for the side of Black and Mild, Sesh has not yet died. Lands on top of Kratos, though, is going to find that pick, but Rohi trades him out, and that's going to be full Uber ad in stark contrast to round previous. ONIS sitting with that full Uber ad compared to Black and Mild.
Yeah, it looked like Kratos was waiting for an arrow there, and unfortunately, the scout caught him before his medic did. Just unfortunate timing.
Yeah, very unfortunate.
Looks like there's a big bomb coming out here from Black and Milds. Sesh is dropped, 3 players down on ONIS. Looks like they're taking this all the way to their yard, looking to get all the picks they can.
Yeah, they're just trying to find every single kill that they possibly can, and unfortunately for Kaltonis, he's not going to be able to find Kratos here. Beefs the final rocket, but
yeah, Kratos gets away on 4 HP. Wow.
Yeah, that's kind of a robbery right there, if you ask me. That's kind of a wipe, a frag robbery, a clip robbery, whatever you want to classify it as, a robbery of. Either way, it's a robbery, but. Black and Mild sitting with that full Uber at it. Looks like they're going to be going for a 4-man of some kind as Kratos bombs forward. They are going to be trapping the beam inside of bunker. They are going to get that 4-man. It is a successful, very, very successful 4-man, actually, as Parkinson mopping up those players, but unfortunately wasn't a quick enough cleanup for it to really matter. So ONIS going to be having that full Uber ad, but Parkinson is hiding close, gets spotted, has to leave, and will leave without incident.
Yeah, Black and Milds there was bunkering in the enemy team's bunker, which is pretty unusual. Traditionally, you would bunker in your own bunker, but I'm always down for new ideas.
Well, I think the idea is that it makes it a little bit more difficult for them to kind of sack in, because they're not expecting you to hold in their bunker. And it's also just more difficult for them to kind of shove into the place that's closest to them when they have to bomb very, very deep, I think is the kind of idea behind that. But ignoring that for a brief moment, Uber does come out from the side of Black and Milds. Counter pop now coming out from the side of ONIS. They are looking to take an even fight over the point. Parkinson going to be able to find Rohi here, so in the post, it does look like ONIS is in the worst position. Hoob going to be able to find Parkinson as he's caught in death box and will get taken down. Only Parkinson dying there, though. Well, maybe potentially Kaltonis as well, but no, will manage to get away. Will not be will not succumb to the mulchery that is the scout.
Yeah, and it looks like they went for a fade on there. Rudolph Austin ends up getting a pick on Rohi. Hoob going down to Urzi. Looks like Black and Milds getting 3-4 picks here. Luckily, hopefully Sesh can get out even if Kratos does go down here. And yeah, Sesh does get out with their Uber. There's still a dis ad, but at least it's not full dis for ONIS here.
At least ONIS, they don't have to lose as much time trying to build out that Uber. They can kind of just sit here comfortably and wait to get in and make something happen. They're only going to lose about probably like 10-15 seconds, but with the time being as low as it is, how much you have to make up, it's not very worth it. Austin going to be able to find the lock pipes onto Cream Soda. Hoob going down now as well. Uber does come out from both teams here. It's looking much, much better for the side of ONIS, though, and I think they realize that, but they're not going to chase too hard. It's going to be Death bombing in very deep, looking to get those rockets onto A-Dozer. Does pop him up and hit the air shot. Might not be the most important pick to get there, though, as what matters right now is ONIS getting those bodies on the point so they can maintain their overtime, but I don't think they're going to be able to. There's no medics on the table for either team, and it looks like the health for Black and Milds is significantly better. It's just Hoob alive on the point, has to stay on top of it, will not be able to live through 2 scouts shooting at him, though, and Ozmeister will be able to find the kill, and unfortunately for ONIS, they're down 2-0, but at the bare minimum, there are 2 rounds remaining that they can lose. I guess technically 1 round remaining that they can lose until things get real, real bad.
Yeah, we're coming into mid here, and we're seeing good roof control from both teams. Early bomb from Death into the backline, steals the pack. Oh, double bomb on a dozer. He ends up going down. Bomb from Parkinson onto Sesh, doesn't manage to get the pick. Scout
Austin
goes down
dies as
Urzi.
well.
Yeah.
Austin dying there, very, very unfortunate for the side of Black and Milds. That was kind of their last bastion in hopes of maybe getting a pick or two to make it a little bit easier for them to push out. Maybe, land one of those Hail Mary pipes or Hail Mary stickies, whatever, he's able to land onto the medic's head at that point in time. But unfortunately, they're not able to get away with that. And they are going to push out on the side of Black and Miles. They're going to be going for a 4-man. Pretty big bomb coming in from Parkinson. Will be going behind, but oh my goodness, big debt from Critics finds Ozmeister and Kaltonis, and it looks like this 4-man has been cut down very, very quick as Parkinson and Austin both try to salvage, but they are not able to find the picks that they need to. They're not able to find the force, and that is going to be a successful hold, a successful maintaining of their Uber. On the side of ONIS, they have a minute off the clock, so I think this is the biggest amount of time add we've seen ONIS have during this game so far.
Yeah, and that was a clinical bunker hold. It was nice on the part of ONIS for not getting distracted by the soldier in the backline, just dealing with the people as they came in. Looks like 2-3 go down here on the side of ONIS while I say that. Hopefully they can get their medic out.
4 now.
Yeah.
That was a pretty nice pipe from Austin, all things considered. Will be able to find that pick onto Cream Soda. Does delay the players for ONIS ever so slightly, but it's a very, very slight amount. It's not significant. And with the Ubers being even, this just kind of leads into a even fight ready to be taken on mid, and I think that's what ONIS wants to do. Cream Soda will get thrown into the air and will not be able to partake in this fight. Parkinson, I believe, is in behind. Will be able to find Fradix jumping up onto onto Red's roof. It is going to be Death jumping onto Blue roof now. Not quite able to find anything, though. Keeps shooting the shiny players, unfortunately, as everybody just keeps getting flashed in front of them. And Black and Mild's going to have a significantly better Uber there. Picks-wise, it's not looking, better for any team, really. They're actually down Parkinson, so in that regard, it's actually looking worse for Black and Mild, but what really matters is if ONIS can make something happen off of it.
Yeah, I think it's really important to note that on this map, compared to like 5CP, you just want to get the Ubers out. Drive fights are kind of the name of the game here, and so they had a really good exchange. That turned into a pretty good fight. They had that pick, and now they're drying off of that, and it's even players. It seems like ONIS is trying to take this slow and clinically and just let Black and Mild feed into them, and it's playing to their advantage. They have 2 picks right now. Hopefully they can take this in and get the point.
Yeah, Black and Milds is, they kind of have to peel back a little bit. They want them to play into their kind of elastic defense here. They're just trying to pull back a little bit, and they're trying to, snap back forward, and that's exactly what they're going to do. They do have Death on their own roof, though, who is going to be able to get some good damage. We'll find Austin. Irsi is going to be able to find Rohi, but what really matters is if A-Dozer can live here, it's going to be caught inside a valley. They have all the time to kill Cream Soda, and somehow, some way, A-Dozer lives on 20 HP. You cannot script this. Kaltonis goes down inside of Red Valley. Black and Milds has a very good opportunity to hold on to mid. They need to be careful, though. They are down a player. They're going to lose Parkinson. They're going to lose Ozmeister. They got to go if they want to maintain A-Dozer's life here. And it looks like that's what they're going to be able to do. But big bomb coming in from the side of Death. Will get taken down. Rohi dies as well. Austin dying as well, though, unfortunately, for the side of Black and Milds. But with 2 picks, I don't think they care.
Yeah, I think that was a really nice, good push from them, Playing slow again, watching for those players, feeding one by one and taking them out. I think they're really doing a good job of it at adapting to Black and Mild's playstyle. We see the exchange come out here, trying to get the force. And they get it, but really late. Their medic gets sent to the stratosphere, but it's to his advantage because it helps him get out. Looks like we might see a nice dry fight here for the point.
Goodness gracious, Cream Soda trying to bomb in onto the point there, land onto A-Dozer. Will be successful, lands a nice rocket, but it's not going to be enough. There's no pick out of that. Irzi does go down to the hands of Rohi as they try and salvage something out of this. Nice air shot from Parkinson. Won't be able to land the follow-up, though. Rohi is just going to get spammed out here, and Kratos will eat an arrow, but not from his own beam. Will take that 70 damage and walk away with it, take it on the chin. Parkinson tries to go forward, will eat a good chunk of damage, does manage to survive, though, and ONIS here has to try and salvage something, push forward. Time is very close on the clock, so they don't need to be too risky. They can afford to take their time and be methodical with this, but with the damage they're doing to the players on Black and Mild, I think it may just be worth their while to try and get aggressive here, especially with the Uber ad they have. They're going to have to end up using, they managed to find Caltonis, they need to leave someone un-Ubered, and they need to get someone on that point. It looks like Parkinson going to be holding the line. They're not on the point yet. At the very last second, they get someone on it. They almost C9, but they managed to claw themselves back into the fray.
I think in that situation, it looked like they were really looking for that medic there. You know, he had about 90% Uber, and they wanted to catch him right before he had, but unfortunately, they weren't going to. So, looks like Black and Mild is pushing into this with full ad.
Yeah. Looks like Black and Mild wanting to take in a very aggressive Uber, and they're going to be successful with it. They do manage to find 3. They only lose 2 in the process. They are going to lose Ozmeister right at the end there, though. But with it being double overtime here, it's anyone's game. It's a matter of who wins the Scout MGE. A-Dozer has to stay on the point. Is going in for the sloppy kill. He gets the kill onto Rohi. He's bullying away. He gets the kill on the Sesh as well. He gets 2 to secure his team in the 3rd round.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Proving his worth on this team.
I cannot believe that. I actually cannot believe that. I am at a loss. I am befuddled.
That's the moments you live for on Medic, where you get to pull out your guns and shoot the enemies.
I mean, yeah, that's... Medic is a fragging class, as they say. Ozmeister will go down very early in this mid, so will Caltonis and Parkinson, so Black and Milds doesn't really have the force they need. Oh my goodness, Big Bomb coming in from death! Will land on A-Dozer, and that will be revenge for the 2 frags he got right at the end. Death is actually jumping in front of Austin's face, walks over a Sticky, though. I don't think you want to do that when you're fighting the demo. Now it's going to be Kratos bombing forward, trying to take the fight with Austin, but Austin's going to find it too, hit him with that boom taunt, and unfortunately for Austin, in doing so, will get taken down, but I think that opens up the window for Rohi to get traded out on the side, or get traded out, give advantage to Black and Milds, and looks like it's not going to be in the form of Rohi. It actually will be in the form of cream soda, but goodness me, these Ubers are still remaining somewhat even, which is the most shocking part of all of that to me.
Yeah, I mean, most medics died at about the same time on mid there, but we're seeing some ad come on the side of Black and Mild here just from better building. Maybe they know, maybe they don't.
Yeah, I don't know if they do.
Ooh,
big bomb coming in from the side of ONIS. They're able to land on A-Dozer, and they get it. Successful 4-man. One of the most successful 4-mans you can hope for. Get in there just before the window closes. Get that drop. Super crucial. ONIS getting themselves... they're showing some signs of life and showing that they have the opportunity to get in. Oh, Parkinson jumps the gun a little too early. Wasn't spotted before, but... gave away his position by shooting the scout. Could have waited for the beam, but unfortunately didn't do so. 2 players down, Caltonis and Parkinson on the side of Black and Milds.
Austin was hiding in the back, gets a nice pipe on the medic, but not able to follow up. Almost killing Sesh, but not. I mean, yeah, it's a little unfortunate to lose too early there like that. Forces your team into a weird position. Usually you'd want to try to all sack together, but they were just a little off timed there. Hopefully they looks like they're about to get Uber here and go for an exchange to take the point.
Yeah, and we've seen Black and Mild be successful with their exchanges. Parkinson is going to be going very deep, trying to draw some eyes and get some players to look back for him. And he is successful in doing so. They do manage to pull some players back. Both Ubers are coming out in the side of Blue Trench here, and they will be playing around that roof. A Dozer does fall onto the point, though, so his players need to kind of regroup with him here if they want to keep him alive. Austin playing on top of that roof, going to be very important. Does land 2 nice pipes on the Cream Soda here. It's going to be at Scout MGE fight on the point. Austin going to be helping Ozmeister win that fight. Sesh going down here as well as he tries to push forward, but Parkinson says no way and will deny that push. It's going to be Kratos trying to salvage, do the best he can, but unfortunately will go down. I do believe we have Rohi in as well, and Death, but unfortunately they both die, putting them both on a separate spawn wave. That was 3 different spawn waves we saw just a moment ago. I mean, you cannot let yourself get into that kind of situation if you're ONIS.
Yeah, I mean, ideally you want all your players to die at the same time. It looked like there was a couple of different sacks that kind of happened just slightly off timing, and other players kind of suffered as a result. We're looking at about 40 ad here from Black and Milds. Let's see what they do with this. They're bunkered up. Early kill on Kratos. Death gets a pick on the roof on Ozmeister. A Dozer out of the bunker, playing towards main. The kill on Cream Soda as well, and that's a successful hold.
Yeah, this is a very successful hold for the side of Black and Milds, and if you're ONIS, that pressure is starting to mount. You know, you're starting to feel it way down on you, as it's even Ubers. You only have 47 and counting seconds to try and make something happen, because if you lose this, you are out of amateur playoffs. It's a single elimination bracket down here in open, so you've got to play on your A game every single time. And unfortunately for ONIS, they're not going to be able to push forward with their first attempt. They play a little too passive, and they will get taken down for it. Death is caught behind as well. That'll make it almost impossible for them to get in at a reasonable time. They're going to have to take a 5v6 and hope that Death can refight in time. They have 10 seconds remaining. Counterpop does come out from the side of Black and Milds. It's looking significantly better. They're going to be able to find Kratos here. No demo alive. It's going to be Sesh having to back all the way out, and no beam in the fight for the side of ONIS just yet. They are able to come back. A Dozer caught on Red Tower will get taken down. It looks like ONIS may just be able to maintain their position here, at least for the time being. Black and Milds has Parkinson and Irsi looking to get some pressure forward. Hoob spawning deep inside of that valley, but they're going to have to go away, and they have to play perfectly now. They can't afford any mistakes. They can't leave this point. They have to stay on it, because as soon as Black and Milds caps, they win amateur quarterfinals.
Yeah, those are the moments you really have to go all out and show everything that you got, you know? Can't lose those fights. But
Parkinson.
Teams Sesh goes down here to Ozmeister. Parkinson might die in Valley here. He gets out on just a hair.
With 2!
Wow.
I cannot believe he gets out with 2 there. I really thought he would have died, but I guess
Me too.
pistol RNG, as the scout players say. 60 seconds remain on the clock for ONIS to be able to win, but they're down Rohi and Cream Soda. This isn't looking good for them. They're going to be down their demo here as well. Kratos dies, Death dying as well. It's just the beam and the scout alive, and they have to play around an Uber. That's right in their face. ONIS completely wipes, ladies and gentlemen and friends in between. That is amateur quarterfinals. Black and Milds taking it, not dropping a single round. Both maps going 4-4.
Yeah, I think it was a great match. I think regardless of it being a 4-0, I think the rounds were competitive. I think both teams really showed and tried to adapt, and teams ONIS just wasn't on their game. I think they just missed the mark a little bit on point control. I think they were starting to adapt really well and play to their advantage in terms of like waiting for Black and Milds to feed. I think they were just losing DM fights a little bit and not playing together. And all those little things just come together, and they lead to you losing rounds and losing the map and losing the match.
Absolutely. And I think something to mention is that even though it was a 4-0, they had a they had a few close rounds. There was a moment where it got to double overtime. I mean, it looked like for a brief moment that they were showing signs of life, that waiting to, they were waiting to, I don't know, they were just waiting for something to happen instead of trying to make something happen. They waited for Black and Milds to make mistakes and try and play around that, as opposed to letting themselves try and make plays. And unfortunately, when you're in a position like that, when you're already down a map, you really can't afford to do that. But we do have logs. I'm assuming this one may not be a great log to check out, but nonetheless, it is an integral part of the casting experience. Gotta check out those logs. Filtering my DPM, Austin up there. I mean, I knew Austin was going to be high with the DPM, with the amount of pipes he was slinging, the amount of traps he had, the amount of stickies he just had ready to go. He's up there, 391 DPM, so close to a 400 DPM game, but not quite. Followed behind a 60 almost DPM gap by Rohi, Caltonis, and Parkinson just behind him. So very projectile dominated on the side of Black and Milds. Of course, Irzi and Kachi did their part. They showed their worth. They pulled their weight, but it's just unfortunate for the side of ONIS.
Yeah, I think a couple things to note is just damage. Both demos taking pretty huge damage. Critics taking a lot more, though, at 330. I think your ability to like hold the point and keep the enemies at bay is completely dominated by your HP and how much damage you're taking. I think that's really evident that Black and Milds was just getting a lot of spam onto, the players and getting good bombs. All that value starts to add up over time, and you just can't hold down the point on demo when you have to look at both the roofs and players behind you. It's hard to really control it all at the same time, and you have to trust your team, and sometimes it all kind of falls apart around you.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes people just aren't having a good day. Maybe they're not playing as well as they could. Tons of things could happen that might end up slowing down your progress or making it so that you unfortunately take the L, like we have seen ONIS take on this match. But they made it to quarterfinals in open playoffs, which is nothing to scoff at. Still a pretty good achievement, to say the least. You made it past the round of 16. Actually, looking at it, every playoffs game was a 2-0. If I'm not mistaken. So they 2-0'd their first game against at, but unfortunately getting matched up against the 3rd seed while being 6th seed just wasn't working out for them. And unfortunately, they were going to take the loss on this one. But that will just about do it for us. Do you have any shout outs before we go offline?
Don't think so. I think both teams played great, and I loved watching the match. I appreciate all our viewers and everyone who tuned in, and thank you all for listening in and watching this match with us.
Absolutely. I think for me to give a shout out to someone, of course, shout out underscore on the production side of things, your cameraman, your audio, but everything you see on the screen right now, underscore has brought to you. So shout out to underscore. Of course, big shout out to you as well for joining me tonight in this cast. And you know what I want to shout out most importantly? BizGun Fireside Denver, baby. Biggest LAN in TF2 history, probably, in a very, very long time. First intercontinental LAN in a while. We got Witness EU. We got like a G6. We've got Witness Australia, all meeting together in Denver, Colorado to duke it out in one of the largest LAN events in TF2 history. Spectator passes have gone live. They've been locked up in storage for a while. They've been breathing some stale air. So give them the best kind of fresh air, the air that is in your pocket, potentially your wallet, wherever you keep your tickets. I don't judge. But I think that is going to do it for us tonight at Fireside. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and we will see you next time we go live with a match.
Thank you all so much for tuning in, and thanks for listening. We all love you dearly.